Dating in 2023, super complicated. So we have men on one hand saying we bring a lot to the table, a lot is demanded from us. So what do women actually bring to the table to make this a fair society, a fair contract, a fair transaction? This is DLS Wave. Let's get right into it. As per the intro, we're gonna get right into it without wasting too much time. So, dating gets more and more complicated. Women are claiming they're equal. Men are saying, "Yeah, we're gonna treat you as equal as we are." Right. So, what does that really constitute? Do women get to bring something to the table just as the men do? Right. Is it justified, or do you think this is all like a big modern day scam? So, without wasting too much time, your take on it. What do you think as a man is demanded of you in a dating space as a man? If you're going in for a woman, what is demanded of men as in 2023?
I think a lot is demanded of men in terms of dating in recent, maybe not just 2023, but in recent times. It is naturally somehow expected that the man should bring a lot more to the table than the woman. Maybe many or a long time ago, this was the case, but things have changed, times have changed. So I think, in my personal view, I think tables have turned, and so that is too much and unfair demand on men as to what they should bring to the table. But we'll get deeper into it. So that's just my initial.
Yeah, we get it. But I was trying to get to more specifics, as in what those demands are. Those demands, what are they? Is it like money, a car, a job, a house? What are those demands exactly?
Yeah, I mean, if you compare, say, our parents' time when they were our age or younger, dating was a lot more simple. You were lucky to even have a guy who had a bicycle, and that was already good enough. And most women, I'm not saying all women now, but most women at the time didn't demand much. They just went based on love, based on the potential of the man.
They were more of builders.
Exactly. We build it together. But in recent years, the culture has become that the man should already be fully prepared with old cars, a house, own a big bank account. It is expected now that the man should take full care of the woman. So it even makes you tend to think that, in a sense, the woman doesn't have to do anything. You came for me, you have to take absolute responsibility of my life, which I think is what is the in thing now. The man is expected to have everything before he even approaches a lady.
Okay, I get that part, but
Let me add to what you just said. Back in the day, yes, you're supposed to take care of your wife back in the day.
Right.
But the wife understands the man's position, as in the kind of job he's doing. She doesn't expect the man to own a car in the next 2 months,
Right.
or in the next 6 months. You understand? She's more of, okay, this is where you stand. We love each other. We get married. We go for it and try to get at the family. Yeah, try to build the family. As much as I remember, back in the day, our grandparents would go to work, bring the money,
Yeah.
and give the money most of the money to the woman.
Yeah.
To use it to take care of the house. These days, it's not the same. These days, our ladies are competing for equal rights. So let's say there's a running joke, that, I saw a video where a lady says, I don't date men who doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have any, she's still living with her mom.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with that mentality,
You understand?
you still live with your mom.
I will take it from a lady, and this is not me. Everybody have their wish and their dreams and stuff. I get that.
Right.
But you have to prove yourself to be, what is the word?
worthy of
Wor-
meeting of such a person.
Good.
At least meet me halfway. or
Halfway,
something. Yeah.
you understand? Because if this is the question I always ask, if you are coming for me, yeah, because you want me to own this and that, and I own that, and you come, what are you going to add to it so that we grow further?
Got it. All right. So this is very interesting because you said dating used to be a lot simpler, right? So I'm just trying to find out what the contrast is. How was it then, and how is it now?
Right. I think back in the day there was a lot more focus on culture, tradition,
Family.
the traditional family, what they call the traditional family, where you simply needed to have a husband, a wife, and children to build a home together. So it wasn't based on finding the man who has this and this and that. It was basically based on finding a responsible man.
And I
that
think
was-
basically, as long as the man has got a job, like you said, he's
or
responsible, he can take
hardworking,
care of the family.
And that's
Got it?
what the bride, usually the bride's family looked, in African tradition, in Ghana and by extension, I believe in the whole of Africa and maybe many countries in the world as well, we had something, they still do it now, but it's not as focused on it as it was before. Something called, like if a man goes to ask for a woman's hand in marriage,
Or is it a,
no, just ask, just show interest.
The hand in marriage. yeah.
Hand in marriage, yes. Then the the woman's family will go and investigate the man's family to see if the man's family is worthy. Do they have any sickness? What is their line of their lifestyle,
Business and stuff.
business? What do they do for a living? Is there some kind of disease in the family and all that? In traditional setting, they call it a bisa. They go and ask. They don't go to the family, but they ask around just to
Around,
know if this family we are marrying into is a good family or not. So it just, that alone tells you that there was a lot more focus on the individual, the human being, the family that we are getting in connection with. But nowadays, the focus is more on the material aspect. So even that traditional aspect has been kicked out of the park. People don't care too much about it. As long as you drive a good car, you get a big house. Sometimes, not all the time, but in most cases, the lady's family doesn't even want to know any details about the background of the groom. Once you have these things to show, it could be borrowed, but they don't care. Once you're showing it, they just accept your proposal.
cool?
And,
I love
and,
it.
And for me,
No,
I-
to come to you, I feel like that should kind of settle it. But what caused the change? Where did we lose all those traditional, heritage?
okay, let me take it from the African side.
Okay.
We are lost as a group of people. I have to say it blunt. We are
No,
lost.
not just women.
Not just the women.
Just us as a
we,
people.
We as
Generally,
a people
okay.
are lost. And I'll give you one reason. You know, growing up, when it comes to marriage, yeah, you list some.
Yeah.
But after that, it was quite a simple way.
Yeah.
Although, depending on the man marrying, what they have.
Yeah.
But it was between families.
Yeah.
So there was a call. Okay, bring this, bring that, bring that. This is how much our daughter is worth.
Right.
So if you can afford those, they get it
You
settled.
recall dowry? Is
Yeah,
that dowry?
yeah.
Good. They
Bride
get it
price,
settled.
whatever.
But up to some point, we started going a bit to the Western or
Like
international.
white wedding
Yeah,
and
white
all
wedding.
that.
So now you are going to get married to a lady, and you can afford the traditional wedding, what we call Bojimo.
Yeah.
I said Bojimo. The name I just lost, but the traditional wedding. Yeah. It will be easier because all you need to do is sort the family side,
Yeah.
and you're done.
Yeah.
And some few nearly like eating and stuff,
Refreshments, yeah.
refreshments and stuff.
Yeah.
You're done. But now, look at the list,
Yeah.
and that has also brought a certain desire for our ladies, yeah, because Rose just had a
Yeah,
wedding.
my friend did that. Yeah. Mine has to
Wearing
be
the
bigger.
most good.
Yeah.
So the wedding dress, blah 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 blah. Forget about the traditional one. You also have to buy the traditional clothes and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So we are doing two things.
Yeah, exactly.
But the people we are actually copying, they're doing only one.
yeah. Yeah.
So from the word go, we've entangled ourselves. If you don't have money
Right.
and you go in, people take money and loan money to
Yeah.
just get all that done. And the demand from the lady, because she has seen the cousin's daughter, or the friend got married to a rich person. Not every lady, let's get it right.
Yeah.
But most, because
Most,
of, I'll say show off, social media,
Yeah.
you know, the quest to be something you are not.
Yeah, that is what I wanted to come to.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I like what you said, but I think it's pretty much sums up to be what women are known for. They're like group thinkers, right? Because if you look at women in general, it's like when you see like one girl with an iPhone, pretty much like 90% of her friends have iPhones, right? So it's like women are more of like group thinkers. So at the end of the day, like I say, it's becoming more and more competitive, right? It's like you invited 500 people to your wedding, right?
I need to do 450.
I want to do that. That's minimum. That's the
Yeah.
minimum. I got to
Yeah.
do more, 550, just to show off for it's this competition thing. But the underlying factor is social media, I believe,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because they always
Yeah.
see all these girls showing off with all these
Instagram
filters and they
videos and all
exactly
that, yeah.
and they feel like this is the kind of lifestyle that's gonna make me happy. I mean, look at how happy this girl is, right? She's
Right.
always showing off this.
Right.
So the question then becomes, if you as a man, you have all that it takes to settle down with the women, right? You got a job, a house, a car.
Yeah.
What do you expect in your woman? So to speak, or what do you expect to bring to the table, as the saying goes?
Right.
You see, one thing that have changed, but the values or what most men want in their marriage have not changed. We talk about all these fancy.
Yeah, that's
stuff,
what we're trying to get at.
but
Yeah.
every man,
Every man,
I
wants
like
a
that.
woman that can control the home.
Yeah.
Not control.
Is
the
it
ma-
manage? You mean manage or control?
No, controlled affairs.
Okay.
In the,
Okay,
in the
yeah.
home. What- your money is given to you, and even extra, because
run
they
the
always find a way to take extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it will be given.
Yeah.
But run my home, keep my. That is why when most men, when they get the right woman, they do everything for the woman to stay.
So that's what we're trying to get to. Like,
Yeah.
what is your ideal woman? What is the right woman in that sense?
A woman that I know, if I leave, I travel, my home is safe.
Okay.
It's calm.
Right.
I come back. I won't say anything I want, but I know the key things I'm looking for, such as food for the home. There's no shortage.
Yeah.
Because I give the money. Even if I don't, she finds a way.
Yeah.
It's like you give her a little, she can multiply it.
Those are the qualities you're looking for.
Okay.
If you have a woman that you give one and turns it into four, most men would die for that kind of woman.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the money you have. And that is that particular thinking within men and even some women not lost.
Yeah. It never changes.
It,
Yeah.
it never
It's
changes.
innate. It's ingrained in
has
our
to.
DNA. Yeah.
So is it like total like concurrence? You totally
I think
agree to
I
that,
agree.
or-
I agree to what he said, especially saying that there are certain traditions about marriage that never change, irrespective of what race or who you are. The man always expects this from his wife. Besides, the wife is a helper, so the man is supposed to be in charge. Well, I'm not sounding sexist here.
I don't
but-
use the word help. I use the word inventor and motivator.
Right.
That is what I use for them, because sometimes as a man you look lost,
Right.
because of the demands,
And you have so many things to
you
think
have
about.
so many things.
Yeah, need to get a house.
So
need to
you
do this.
need that motivational person.
Yeah, but this is what the ladies also say now. They also have so much to think about.
Yeah, but that is why I'm saying, as men, the question you ask is for us men. Us, our thinking of looking for a woman
Yeah.
in the home have not changed.
Right.
So it is also the woman. Okay, this is the type of man I'm looking for. Okay, so if the two of us meet, then we find a balance
Right.
to help and support each other. You understand? And you keep working your magic.
Yeah, so my brother summarizes in a nice way. He always says that when a kid needs money, they go to the dad because they believe naturally that the dad is supposed to provide money. But when they need, how do you call it? Food or that emotional support.
Compassion
They naturally,
and-
compassion,
yeah.
naturally draw to their
Gravitate
mom.
to their
It
mom.
just tells you that that's how it's been built naturally.
Naturally.
That a woman is supposed to be the emotional attraction, and who controls or manages things in the house. And the man is supposed to be the provider. I mean, if you look at it from the perspective of even how a kid will behave. So at the end of the day, it still comes back to the point where we are saying that the man knows his role as the provider, and the woman should be the one, like you said, who manages the house. Because take it or leave it, women are better at that than men. If you put a man in charge of a home, things, not all men, but generally, things don't go that well.
Try cooking, taking care of kids at the same
it's
time.
hard to coordinate
You
those
then
things.
the house.
You can do it, but women do it naturally.
You then the house.
Yeah, but that is a good thing. I mean, that is that is a good point to kind of like cue up, because you say try cooking, try cleaning, blah blah blah. But this is what the ladies now do not understand, because they're thinking this is not just the only thing we're good at. We go to school, we're educated, right? There is so much more we can contribute to society. So why are you just trying to like
This is my personal
limit everything that we're built to be? Yeah.
This is, I think, anybody who think it's just shallow thinking. I'll tell you that. I'll explain. What you're thinking, you are just thinking going to school. You understand? Oh, I've gone to school, I've done that. It's different. Family, it's a whole institution. Where it is you, the man, and the kids you will build.
Yeah.
Yeah? So the people outside, they don't, they okay, you are thinking they are looking at you like you are just the cleaner in the house. No, you are the motivator. You are building your home. So why do you bother if somebody sees you as a cleaner? If you live in your home, won't you clean?
Exactly. Yeah. And
that is the question.
And what is wrong with doing that for your family anyways?
It's a family. No, that is why I said it's an institution.
Right.
So you want to get married and go and sit and put your legs on the table. Who should come and clean? That is why some men or some women end up losing their husbands because forget about other issues. Yeah. But if you're thinking that way, your man would push, or you will push for a helper. The helper will come and clean your man for you.
Yeah.
Or the same helper will come and clean your lady for you.
Yeah, you mean the house help? Okay.
Right.
I will use house help. You want a cleaner.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be called, oh, why should I clean for him?
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody will come and clean him.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's the thing I also want to add that sometimes women don't. Some women, let's
Yeah,
not
some,
generalize.
some, yeah.
When we say women, we're not just saying everyone, but we're
yeah.
just using as a generalization. They sometimes forget the core responsibility or the core duties that a man is already performing in a marriage or in a relationship. Think of the fact that it is the responsibility is not on you to provide housing, whether it's rented or bought. Most of the time, is the man who is paying for it. The car is the man who is paying for it. He's the one driving you around. So some of those things you don't have to ignore them because he's sacrificing a lot already.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So I'm just gonna turn that right back, right? So what if the dynamics of those change? If the girl is or the ladies are bringing in more than the guy, do the dynamics change?
Okay, so that is where
because that's when we talk response. Okay, I'm doing this. I'm bringing in this. I'm bringing the majority of the money. I'm bringing in the car, the house. So what if the dynamics change?
Okay.
If the lady has all these stuff or coming in with this stuff,
But that is where you, the man. So that is why you have to be smart. I always say, some men, but you, the man, you have to learn to be helpful because you are building a home together. So if, let's say, you get married to a wealthy lady, yeah, you balance it. You balance
in
it.
what sense? How
Okay,
does that
she
work out?
brings in majority of the stuff, and you have time on your hand.
Right.
House stuff, you can do what you can as a man because we fix things as
Right.
men too.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So fix what you can fix, and then maybe the cooking side you might not be too good, or that is where you can have compromise. Okay, because of your job, you come home this time, blah blah blah. Okay, then you cannot cook. You can only cook on weekends. Then we can either help you cook on weekends, stuff the fridge, we balance.
Yeah.
Or you can get an auntie or somebody you trust help with the cooking side. But as in clean the home and stuff, you the man can also balance.
Right.
Because at the end of the day,
Right.
it is your home.
Right.
Got it. Yeah.
And I'll just add to that, and also we shouldn't forget that the fact that the man is too busy or the woman is too busy, like you said, doesn't mean the person shouldn't contribute. So as the wife, whether you are busy or not, or whether you're working or not, and I don't think, like you're asking, I don't think the man is maybe just completely staying as a house husband.
Yeah.
Maybe he also works. It's just that maybe the woman brings in more money. So I believe, irrespective of how busy any of you is,
Yeah.
the wife, you should still be able to do certain things. Of course, if it's very impossible on the weekdays, like Stephen summarized it, then you can do it on the weekends. But if we get home at the same time, then I think that you should still be able to take up some of the responsibility when you get home.
Okay.
Not like giving the excuse and sitting on the sofa and say, "Oh, I'm also working, so what do you want me to do?"
So if my senses are serving me right, what both of you guys are trying to convey is that men and women have different roles to play in a marriage.
Yes.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that does not necessarily mean there's an equality here, right?
No, it depends on the roles, though.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if there are different roles to play, does that sound like equality?
No, I just believe that it depends on the family. You have to be able to balance your stuff, you know, and that is where communication is key. So if I'm the one bringing in the chunk money, and that is the main reason why I am busy, then let's say fixing something in the home,
Yeah.
we should find a way to fix it, because you, the lady, might not have the know-how, you know. Then okay, I need to. There are certain things that are for men that men can do and do it better.
Okay.
So like going up to the ceiling where there's an issue and stuff, the man should be in charge and get the right people to come and do it. There are certain things you should do as the man.
Got it.
Forget about the money you bring. And then there are the other side where we all grew up with our mom always key thing, food on the table. If you get married to a chef, and if you get married to a chef, as in you, the lady, the guy is a chef.
That's
it's a plus.
your lucky day, yeah.
It's a plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
You understand? But then you should also find something he's not good at and balance.
Right.
I got you. So, this is what I'm saying. So, men and women have different roles to play in the
I believe
in the
so.
home,
I
right?
believe
It
the
has been like
traditional-
that,
The
yeah.
traditional setup of the
Okay.
family, yeah.
So this is where the problem kind of like gets more complicated, because they're so-called egalitarians. These people like stomping their feet saying
We're equal,
men and
blah,
women
blah,
are equal, right? So in this case, how are we going to define that equality in the home or in society? Are men and women really equal?
This is my personal take. It is no.
That's what we want. That's what we want. We just
It
want
is
your
no.
personal take. That's your
It is
personal
no.
take. Yep.
But they are the odd ones. You can find some women who can go to the extreme and do certain things men do. But if you look at the numbers, it is a big no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You understand? How
Can you
many-
give us-
how-
can you give
how-
us some
okay,
ideas about the differences?
In just construction,
Okay.
road construction, how many women are into road construction? You can count.
Yeah, building, construction,
Building, any
Yeah.
thing related to construction.
Yeah.
And then we can go through like almost everything that is human,
Yeah.
or a human being can do. You can see the vast majority are men.
Yeah.
You understand? Look at all these skyscrapers here. How many women go up there cleaning it?
You really see. on
Yeah. So
every-
men really get society
Okay,
to function,
they
right?
can
Pretty
fight
much.
their way through. I want to be the boss. I can handle this. But even if you look at it structurally, vast majority, yes, some women do it and do it well, but they're just the odd ones.
Yeah.
You understand?
I think, yeah. So for me, I just think that it's not, men and women are not the same, and the responsibilities should not be the same.
Yeah.
It should not be the same. The basic reason is we are two different genders, and the two different genders have certain biological, how do I say, characteristics that don't fit in the other. So, for example, think of physique. It is true that men are stronger than men. It's a fact. Nobody can deny it.
Than women, you mean?
Sorry, men are stronger than women.
yeah.
So there are some things that women just can't do. And like we're talking about the home, there are certain things you don't expect the wife to do. When you see something go wrong, naturally that natural instinct kicks in, and
Yeah.
you just get up and say, no, this is my responsibility. And it should be the same for the woman too. Something goes wrong, that is their responsibility. It should just kick in, and it does kick in naturally. So just by those basic facts, biological facts, I think we are not the same. But I also think that although we're not the same and we have different responsibilities, the whole thing also boils down to, like we already mentioned, it should all just make sense. It's your responsibility, yes, but if you are not in the position at the moment to do it, then I can do it. Right.
So do we think women are getting more and more like delusional, thinking they equal to men? Because this is where the context is.
Right.
Because a lot of women are saying they do not have the same opportunities that men have.
I think for me, I've looked at this before, and I feel like this sort of whole mentality change is coming from history. Because if you not too long ago, maybe 50, 60, 70 years ago, in many countries, women were not allowed to drive cars.
To
women
vote,
are not allowed to
yeah,
vote.
there was a lot of like, yeah.
If men were talking, like in African traditional setting, women were not even allowed to
be around, sit around, yeah.
Yeah, so and in many other, in religion and all that, sometimes in some religions when they are praying, the women are behind, the men are in front. So I feel like all these traditional and religious practices that relegated women to the background for a long time, now that awareness has come, many women are fighting for that equality. So I think the reason is coming from how women were treated in the past, but it doesn't necessarily make it right to say that women are equal to men. I mean, we are not the
Okay,
same.
let's draw a line. I think we kind of conflating two things, right? I think we're mixing up equality or equal with fairness. What's fair? Because opportunities, like you say, right? You could be a doctor, you could be. You want to be an engineer, you can go do it. If you want to be in construction, no man is stopping you. Do you know what I mean? I feel like generally women just choose jobs that are more like I read about. They're more interested in people, and men are interested in things. That's why men go into construction engineering, because naturally we like to fidget, we like to fix stuff, right?
Yeah.
Women like to, they're more compassionate, they handle things better than men, right? Emotionally and all that. So you don't think women are actually kind of mixing these two things, as in what is fair and what is equal? Because the equality part, we got it. It's a fact. It's impossible. Women cannot be equal to men on so many levels. So is it the fairness part that they're confusing with equality?
For me, I think anyone asking for equality, you have to ask yourself, what are you looking for? You understand?
Yeah.
And most of these people shouting from the rooftop, yeah, which is not bad. This have opened doors for other people who felt they did not have a fair share of the cake, right?
Right.
But the truth is, we are living in a world where it is competitive. You understand? So nobody is ready to say, oh, let's show her. She's a bit weak here. Let's hold her and pull her. If you go to the army and they are doing drills and stuff, there's no time for
weakness.
weak mentality. You understand? So if you're asking for equality and you go there and they don't promote you, or you don't get through because you think the exercise is too tough, they know men can do it. That is why it is that tough.
Right.
And not even all men. So what about some of us who cannot do those kind of
Right.
what are we going to ask for? You understand?
Yeah.
So my point is that I won't say know your place, because it may sound disrespecting or disrespectful, but just look at what you're looking for. Your field.
Yeah.
Yes, this particular field allows me to go through the ranks and get to the top. Keep going.
Right.
Okay. Can we also
And accept the challenge.
Yeah.
That's
Can we
all.
put the blame equally on men? Like the modern generation of men. It's like it feels like a lot of men are now becoming a lot softer now, and they cannot even state that fact, like that difference, that it's a fact. Men and women cannot be equal and will never be equal and have never been equal. It looks like a lot of men now are also claiming they're feminists. I understand there's a definition of feminist. You can support women and women's rights and everything, but it looks as though men are also kind of like simping out to women. There are a lot of things that a man can be masculine about, can stand their ground, be firm about, for the women to understand, hey, I run this show. But it's like men are just like, okay, for the sake of society.
So let me answer this.
Yeah.
And this is the main reason. And when you were a kid, you could all relate to. You want something, you keep hustling your mom, and they say, don't do it, and then one time you kind of get off my face, go and do what you want. Yeah, and then you go, you hurt yourself so bad, or you go, you get so disappointed.
You don't know how do I go back?
How do I go back? You have two options. You either go back, lower your pride and go back, or stick with that same pride with the egg on your face. But but I tried. That is the state we are in now. Most men don't want to be called names. So okay,
They like anti this,
yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if this is what you're looking for, okay, this is the field. Right. Go fight. Go do your thing. I'm waiting.
Right.
Cool. Got it.
I think
You think it's probably the men's fault that now they're not playing like a very, very good masculine role, and the women are kind of like, doubting men's masculinity. That's why they're kind of like filling that gap.
I think, like we said in one of our discussions, I think also the way society and policies are set up now, it kind of favors women. So someone said, I think in one interview I saw, someone was saying that men are getting weaker, not because they want to be weak, but because almost everything in society seems to go against men.
Yes.
Whatever you do now, like you rightly said, you'll be called names. There are all sorts of terminology now. You are sexist, you are anti-feminist, you are
Toxic.
this, you are that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And social media does a good job of blowing things up. So if you are tagged as such a person, depending on how famous or what kind of person you are in society, you can tarnish your image.
you get
Exactly.
cancelled,
You
yeah.
lose deals and all kinds of things. So men are being a bit more careful now, even though at the back of their minds they know this is what I want, this is what is right, but nobody wants to put themselves on the line because your sanity, your success, everything is at risk. So people just accept it. I believe that's what is going on. So even the way policies are set up now, they favor women. But we were talking earlier about the fairness, right? We talked about equality, but when it comes to fairness, I think it is the equality thing that has given birth to the fairness thing. So because women want to be equal with, like they want to be seen as equal with men, everyone around plays to their tune to make everything favor them to seem fair. So that's another thing. Everybody wants to be fair to women. It might not necessarily be the case, but that's how society is going. So everyone is like, okay, let's give them the chance. Let's allow them to do what they want, so we can be fair.
Cool.
But that is not the reality.
Yeah. All right, 360. Back to the contribution part. It's like we're saying, okay, men bring all this, whatever. You come with a job, a house, blah, blah, blah. You take care of the home. You help raise the kids. You help the wife and everything. So what would you say to women that are looking for these kind of men that are already quote unquote successful? What do you say? What do they have to bring to them? What would make them more desirable to these men?
The most common thing or common word we all grew up with it is be careful what you wish for. And know what you also bring on the table. Know your wealth. Know what you can contribute. Don't just go, I'm looking for this and that, but yet you cannot contribute anything. You are just looking at what you're going to get. And actually there's a whole school, that actually teaching modern girls how to get married to wealthy people.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And make wealth out of it in the space of a year, 2 years or something. So the way this generation is going, it is only going to get worse.
Right.
Because we are fortunate we grew up from a certain generation, and luckily we are married, so we are trying to impart those kind of upbringing to hopefully to our children, and they will hold it dear. But the way things are going, oh Lord. Anyway, but any woman that is looking for somebody will say that is my standard.
Yeah, no problem with standards.
Good.
But they have to be realistic.
That is my goal.
They have to be realistic.
It's good to have goals, but sometimes you have to learn to shift the goalposts.
It has to be realistic.
Yeah.
Right.
So I cannot actually say know yourself. Know what you're looking for. Build some. God.
And I also I will just put it simply, like back when we have a saying in Ghana, the way to a man's heart is his stomach.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. The man, it's like you said, there's nothing wrong with having your own goals and dreams and aspirations. You want to marry a rich man, fine. Somebody wants to marry someone they love, they don't care if they're rich or not.
Yeah.
If your goal is to find somebody who already has all these material things, like you said, you should also know your place. What are you bringing to the table? We already know basic things that every man likes, right?
Yeah.
As a woman, nobody needs to tell you. You know, you interact with people, you see it on screens everywhere. The basic things that a man needs. He needs a little bit of understanding. He needs food. The basic things. Even if you can't contribute any, no one is asking you to contribute anything extraordinary. Like we said, simply run the home as a responsible person. And sometimes you see a man come home and he brings his wife an iPhone every time. He knows what he's getting. Because if he knows the woman is not worth it, why would he buy every new iPhone that is released? He knows you have 2 iPhones, but he bought you a new one because he knows what he's enjoying from you.
Pretty
as a
much your
wife.
value, right? Your
value,
worth.
yes. But if you cross your legs, he worked hard for his millions. He comes home, you cross your legs. You don't even welcome him, not even a glass of water.
You tell him to order in McDonald's.
Or
dinner.
you tell him to go to the kitchen. Of course, he's going to get fed up. He's going to get tired of you. So like you said at the beginning, I like it so much. The basic structure of marriage or relationship, I don't think will ever change, because as long as the human genes remains like this, it will always be the same needs that a man or a woman likes. So I don't think that will change.
All right. Yeah. Everybody's making a lot of sense. You got something to add?
Yeah, it is not solely on the women, because some of our men too are the same. So that is what I'm saying. You have to balance it. As a man, what are you looking for in a woman?
Right.
So you have to look deep.
Right.
You know, you really have to look deep, because getting married or having a family, it is not a joke.
Right.
It comes with a whole lot of responsibility. So if you don't get the right woman, or if you don't get the tables are turned and the woman is the wealthy one bringing all the, if you the man getting that kind of woman, you don't manage your stuff well, it could also go south. So for me, we all agree, marriage, the rules that comes with marriage from time immemorial will never change.
Yeah.
It will never change.
Exactly. Yeah.
We can change, but within that change, we should learn to change to better the family,
Right.
than to change to only better ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand? Because if the family has kids and you are only thinking about yourself, then you're being selfish, because you're leaving a whole generation. You're going to screw up a whole generation.
Yeah, but I think this is one of the very fundamental problems in society now. The self thing you just mentioned, right? I mean, what is it? What do you call it?
Selfie.
Selfie. Yeah.
So before you will give your phone or your camera to a third person, to take a picture of you, right? But now it's all me. It's like self-help, self-motivation,
And
self-happiness, right?
Yeah.
Everything is all like self-gratification.
Yeah.
And everything is in such abundance, you can get anything you want whenever you want.
Right.
That people do not really take the time to appreciate things anymore. You
Right.
know what I mean?
And let me just throw this
Yeah.
in quick. I'm sure we'll have another discussion one day about divorce and its reasons, but I just want to throw this one in. I think some of these things we're talking about are pretty serious issues, and that's why a lot of people are undergoing depression. They're going into depression and even divorce.
Yes.
Because if you look at our parents, it's not like everything was rosy. When we were all growing up, we saw our parents quarreling and all that. And sometimes, yes, there were divorces and separation here and there, but it was nothing compared to what's happening
now.
You hear people divorced or separated, and you ask what is the reason, and you just shake your head because of this.
Yeah, but I think it's just because of what we're talking about. It's
Right.
like because there is a conflation of roles. Nobody really knows what role.
Nobody wants to accept.
Exactly the roles they're actually supposed to play.
Exactly.
Everybody, it's like a competition in the home. Everybody thinks I'm better than you. Why don't you do it, right? Why don't you do it? This is the problem now. And it's like, I mean, think about it now. If a guy says now, if there's a question like, okay, you're hungry, who should make you sandwich? And you dare say, oh, it's the woman. Everybody's like, ooh, it's almost like you dare not say
Why
that.
does it have to be
But
me?
why don't you take pride in that?
So let's turn the question.
Yeah.
The woman goes like, I need money. Who's supposed to give you money?
The man. You're expecting the
But
man
that
to-
one,
yeah, that one is okay. Yeah,
That's the problem. No, actually, that's the problem in society now.
Yeah.
That is like a really fair example to
Right.
make.
That's what you want. This cake, the sweetest cake, but the moment you are being served as a big sour cake,
Right.
you're like, no, that is not what I
Yeah.
want. No,
Yeah.
learn to manage
Look,
yourself.
sometimes clearly you look at the society, and sometimes you see a very handsome man
Yeah,
with a lady who sometimes you think is not his class,
Yes.
or the other way around.
Yeah.
People don't understand why has this really good
You don't know what is
guy
rocking the
gone in
man's
for-
boat,
yes.
right? You have no
but you don't
idea.
know what he's enjoying at home.
Yeah.
Maybe he comes home, the way she receives him, his food is ready.
Respect, number one.
yes,
respect
Moto,
is,
Moto.
You know, so
Yeah, right.
so yeah, I mean, people, you if you're standing on the side, you won't understand. But he loves that woman to the bone,
Yeah.
because he knows the value of that person. It doesn't. Beauty and all that fades away. I mean, you can be with the most beautiful woman on earth, but after a while, if like we're saying, those things that are ingrained in our DNA, if you're not seeing them from that person, that beauty will just wash off, and you won't even care about. So I think that like it all goes back to that natural, the way the two genders have been built. It's just natural.
I think when we use the word natural, it sums it all up, because just like the food chain, right? I mean, a grasshopper is going to eat insects and whatnot from the grass, right? A frog eats the grasshopper. A snake swallows the grasshopper.
Yeah.
An eagle or a hawk comes down and grabs the snake. It's the order of things.
Right.
So I feel like it's the same like from creation, right? You have God.
Yeah.
Who did He create? He created man. Created what woman from the man, and then woman gives what kids.
You're right.
So that's the thing. So like God first, next is man,
Yeah.
third is the wife or the woman, and then the kids come
And
last.
that's why many women are not willing to accept this. I mean, even if you're a believer, you know that it is said that the man represents God in the family, so he should be accorded a respect. And some people even go ahead to say that if a woman respects her man, respect in the sense not like bowing to him, but doing what you're supposed to do for him, it brings you blessings.
But let me ask you a question. What is wrong in bowing to someone you love?
I like that. And if you look at the trend, like if you go to the northern part of Ghana, and people, they still do that. Some women even kneel. I know people are going to come for us, but some women even kneel to their husbands.
Now, what is wrong with it?
No,
it's not
there is
what is
nothing,
wrong?
but I think society confuses that or mixes that up with what enslavement.
kind of the enslavement. Yes, exactly.
This is
No,
what society
but
does.
okay.
But in some cultures, it's quite fun. I mean, I think India and whatnot, you have to go down and bow to a king, a queen, like
Right.
you know,
a form of respect.
It's a form of respect.
If actually, if I've paid money and I marry you, you come to my home, you have to show me the respect.
Yeah, but I mean, right next to Japan, they bow all the time.
Yeah.
Yes,
There is nothing wrong with
There's
that.
nothing
So
wrong.
it's
I
a
think the
culture
mindset.
thing.
It is
Yeah,
the
it's all
mindset.
about
It is
the
the mindset.
mindset.
But
Right.
to actually, like you said, try to wrap up this topic. For our women, listen, don't let social media and things around you fool you.
Yeah.
You understand? Because don't be a cloud chaser. Know what you are worth.
Yeah.
Know that in every man have certain things
Right.
that you would like and you might not like. Vice versa. But when you get married, learn to balance stuff.
Right.
But when you want to listen to the outside world, things that you're supposed to do at home,
Right.
they let you feel like, oh, I'm being enslaved. You cannot get married and get other people to come and do your house stuff.
Then
for
stay
your
single.
husband.
I mean,
That's
simple.
exactly.
Yeah. Because you don't.
You know?
it's a family. You're
It's a
building
family. You are
yeah.
building something.
Right.
You cannot tell me I'm going to build, and then every time you come and sit here, cross your hand,
Yeah.
yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
It will not work.
It's not final word, because so pretty much what a woman is supposed to bring to the table is
Just
your worth.
know your worth.
Know your worth, right? Okay, cool.
Quite simply, the way to a man's heart is his stomach.
Yeah.
Food and all the other things.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
do the
it's a
other
wise,
magic,
it's a
do it
wise
to
saying to
man
the wise
started,
person.
right. All right. So yeah, last words, and what I would add to that is pretty much for me, I would say respect, borderline respect, right? Once you respect your man, just like anybody else, right? You respect your kids, your family, your relatives. Like you have to. It's just all about respect. To a man, love, respect, they go hand in hand. Men do not really go, crave for like love. Oh no. As long as you respect a man, he's gonna do whatever it is you want. Of course, there are instances of like abuse and like
Those are
That's another topic.
That's what I'm saying. Those are like
we'll tackle that one later.
bumble clots.
yeah. So just like you say, stop chasing clout.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. I think it's also about like absorption, like things that you're absorbing on Instagram and social media. You might think these guys got all the
They're doing it just for
the
fame.
elements that a marriage
Right.
has. You see them on whatever like vacations and everything. Because honestly speaking, we kind of like it's unraveling like under our noses Steve Harvey. I mean, look at it,
Yeah.
like a man worth $400
They're
million,
always together,
right?
yeah.
Exactly. They having like marital issues. The same thing with Jeff Bezos, right? The richest person
Bill Gates.
in the world, right? So if they cannot keep their wives and women, I mean, come on, what's gonna happen with you with your $100 bill, right? So at the end of the day, it's all about you knowing yourself, like you're saying, your worth, bringing what you know would sustain your marriage into being, right? Do not look at what others are doing, and also growth. Learn and understand and grow in your marriage. How can I sustain this? All right. So from the studios of Shanghai, we're gonna wrap it up for this episode. So if you like this video, as usual, like it. Even if you do not like it, like it,
Drop
share
a
it.
comment and tell us
Honestly,
why you don't.
what do you have to lose by liking and sharing?
If
right?
you have to bash us too.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, we know negative news and like stuff like that. Flat or more go viral. Good stuff never really do. So we're hoping that ours is something worth sharing. So subscribe, share. We'll see you on the next episode.
Peace out.